Hello, it's Chris here. I'm starting to work on Kevin's 1952 Ford dash gauges. We decided to use the original gauges, so I'm going to first just pull them apart and clean them up, and I may put the odometer back to 0 since it's going to be a brand new rebuilt, and actually these came out of a different truck anyway, so the odometer is wrong for that truck. And that's the gauge. All the wires been snipped, and right now it's for, since this is positive or negative, or yeah, positive ground 6-volt truck from the factory, I've got to convert these gauges over to 12-volt negative ground. So that involves either buying some voltage reducers and rewiring them a bit, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make my own voltage reducers, well, or attempt to, and once it's put back in the truck, see if they work. So some of the gauges you can use without the voltage. You can use the battery gauge, which is this one right here. All you do, this coil right there, all you do is reverse the way the wire goes through there, and that'll work with to go from 6-volt to 12-volt positive. Since we're putting in a new wiring harness or an aftermarket wiring harness, all like these are circuit breakers, 6-volt circuit breakers, those aren't going to need, so those are going to go away. But I'll show you what you have to do, well, not the whole thing, but just for the gauges, if you just want to do keep your original wiring harness and just convert over to 12-volt positive. I'll just do the gauge part. There is other things, like you have to put a 12-volt generator, alternator, a 12-volt fan motor for the heater, and for the windshield wiper switch you have to put a 12-volt switch, and or do some stuff for that. But for this one, I'm just going to concentrate on just on the gauges. So the first part is just going to be taking them apart, seeing if they look good, cleaning all the outside, cleaning up the glass, seeing if the gauges move and all that. Then I will get into making the voltage reducers. So first thing is I'll do the Speedo. That's the easiest. To get these apart, that's the back side of it. These are holes for turn signal lights. Is on that side. You can see the little green indicators. This one didn't come with turn signals, so there was no bulbs in there. But these are 6-volt bulbs to light up the gauge, and those will all have to be changed. I believe I can use the same socket. I just have to change out the bulb to 12-volt. But to get these apart, it's crimped here, 3 places on each side. You just got to bend that chrome, basically this chrome lip, out a bit. Be careful, because I want to use this one, and then that whole front can come off, and then there's 2 screws that actually holds the Speedo gear, and that'll come off later. If I do run into problems, I pulled off the one out of one of our parts trucks, along with the gauges. This one's even worse condition, like the chrome is totally shot. One It looks like the temperature gauge has been replaced already. It's a blank one. It doesn't say temperature on it, but that's where it should be. So that's just for parts. But first thing I will do is I will pull these back. So I'm intending to do this basically on my kitchen table. I don't use it for eating, but hopefully you can see this. I'll put down. But basically, just give it a little pry with a flathead screwdriver. Don't bend it too much because you're going to have to bend it back. Just bend them out a bit to loosen that up. Same with the center one. It's already, as you can see, it's already loose. That's just from handling it for a few times. That one's not even crimped that good. That's good. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get pliers in there. Yeah, that one worked better that way. That one I can't get into with the pliers. Needle nose pliers would work probably a little bit better. There we go. So I used to wiggle it. Yep, there it goes. So there's no, and the glass is held in there by, I don't know. Oh, there's another piece of metal here. Just a ring, and you can see it's painted sort of a white cream or cream off white. I don't know if that's just faded or if it's, but I'll check and I'll paint that all nice and clean that and get that all nice and white. There's the glass, and there's the inside, and there's a cork. It looks like a cork gasket. Yeah, it's basically dried up. Yeah, it's cork. It's dried up. Yeah, there it is. So I will figure out what I can replace that with. I can probably buy them, but I can probably make something up. Right now, I would just put that all together. And the Speedo looks good, like the numbers are all there. A little dusty, but it looks like it's been well sealed. The paint's chipping, but so I'll take these two screws out. That should release the Speedo. Yeah. And I've taken a few gauges apart before, my Terraplane and other cars, so it's no big deal. And that's what the inside. That's a problem. You can see right there. All the numbers, they're peeled off. And that's just dirt on those ones, but on this first one, all the numbers have been peeled off all the way around. So either dirt got in there or who knows, something got in there. So I'm gonna have to replace that. So hopefully the one in the parts one will work. I just got to figure out what's the best way of pulling that apart. But that's nice, that's good. There's the green lenses, and that's just the two lights. This one shines forward, these ones shine out, and they sort of make the whole thing glow. And again, that off-white cream color, I'll just sand all that stuff down and paint it. There's bulbs. Broken, probably from me pulling it. But yeah, those have been in there since factory probably. So that's a disassembled Speedo. Okay, well, I'm going to quickly take the back off the parts one to see if that's any better. If it isn't, then I'm on this hunt for one, or if I can replace those numbers somehow. I'll figure that out. See you in a bit. Okay, this is the parts one. So I will pull apart this one the same way. And needs a little persuasion. All the rust. Not a little worse. Rust in there, but the truck that this came off of was in very rough shape. Like there's holes in the roof and the A-pillars, there's rust right through. So, but the surface of that doesn't look too bad. That part looks good, it's just that part. Might be able to buff that out too. Hopefully the Speedo is okay. Well, it's got more paint than the other one, so it's actually in decent shape, so that's good. That looks actually in a lot better shape than that one. So I think what I will try and do is since I'm going to, well, this is definitely not on the right, from the right truck, so actually this looks better than that pointer. This pointer is all corroded. I'll see if it just, you can feel corrosion with your finger. I don't know if it's just, I'll see if it rubs off, but I can probably just put that pointer on this gauge, and I want to change that back to all zeros, because it's basically going to be a brand new truck when we're done with it. I know some places, I've heard it's illegal to change that, but thing is, this gauge is not even out of that truck, so it came from another different truck altogether, so the odometer is wrong again, and this one's from a parts truck, so the odometer is wrong again. So, and I did this with my Hudson Terraplane. I turned it back to zero because it's basically a brand new. I took that thing down every nut and bolt, so it's brand new. So, and the insurance place didn't bat an eye at it, so when I told them it only had 3 miles on it when I insured it. So I will, this is the good one, so I'll leave from the parts truck, so I'll leave that right now, and I'll pull this one apart, because I know on the Terraplane these were tricky. You had to put them in a certain sequence, and it took me a little while to get it. So I'll play with this one. If I fuck it up, then I have a second one, or I'll just leave it. So I will move these things around. This one looks like there's a spring. You can see right here this little clip. Not sure. Yeah, that's definitely holding it. It's looped around the axle of it right here. It's not nice coming apart. There we go. Spring's off. And Speedo is it, or odometer is out. That's the spring that was holding it. Just clips onto there and then holds on to the back of it. And then that just fits into that pin. And then this gear rides into this gear here. And that's turned by your gear down and turned by the speedometer off your transmission. So, and yeah, these numbers are falling off. I don't know, like the silver, there's silver and a black, and I think no, they're about the same. They're all aluminum. Just for some reason, the white ones deteriorated and are flaking off. The black ones are not. So you can change numbers, but you have to put them in a certain way because there's these little, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but these little tabs, they have to all line up. There's there and there. Most of these are all the same for different manufacturer, or they're very similar. See, in this one, well, that's the first one I took, didn't, or the second one actually, parts truck. They're lined up. Okay, we'll turn those tabs are all lined up there. Gotta take a break. Cat's coming in. Because you can just when you turn these, all these tabs move around. Well, but when when it actually turns in here, these tabs are stationary. And you can see that one's moving. And then the second one starts moving. As it gets to, yeah. So that's the tricky thing to get it back. Like, I have taken it, not a Ford one, but another one apart, the whole thing, and it's very, very difficult to get back together, line everything up, like putting it back to zero and lining everything up. And on this one, it's even a little bit more trickier because there's a brass bushing over here that may be pressed on. Same with here, it may be, I see a little, yeah, it might be pressed on too. So you'd have to pull those off, pull the gear off, and then each individual, this is an individual item, this little ring here So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces just in the numbers. I'm thinking it's going to take a while, but the easiest way is just to run this, see if I can run this backwards. It looks like I can. And if I judge by this one, that's at 22,000 miles. And this one's at 57,000. Well, I'm not going to use this anyways because the numbers are off. So I think I'll just pop that one out, and I'm just going to turn it back by hand. Like in the past, I have put a drill on here and slowly just turned it back. And after I put it into the vehicle, it works for a little bit and doesn't work, but because all these little wheels are aluminum, and they have little catches. So when this one gets the 10, it catches this one, then that one gets a 10, it catches that one. They got worn down because the drill moved it even too fast for just on slow speed, so it sort of screwed it up. So I've done one just by hand, just as I'm watching TV, just back it off like this, and it worked. It's still working today. That's how I did my terraplane. So I think I'm going to put this one back in so I know I have a reference. Then I will pull this one out, and as I watch TV, I'll turn that one back. So I've been turning this back by hand for a few minutes. It doesn't take that long actually, because you don't just have to turn this back. You can actually turn all of them except for this last number and steel spacer. So it used to be 22,100. Now it's only 9,000. So you can just you just turn these for number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one will turn by itself. So 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, 900. Now you have to line up, turn it so the 900th or 100th one lines up with the thousands and 10,000th one. Then you hold that and keep turning the other ones. Then it goes 100, 0. Now you hold the last 3 metal spacers and you line up the 4th metal spacer, and then you turn the first 2 only. What's it? 30 miles. 20. 10. Now I just want to hold all and just turn this one back until that reads 0. There we go. All zeros. This is the one that's going to read. And you can test it by putting it in there, but also you can test it by holding them all and going forward. There's 1 mile right there. 2 mile, and then back. Now, just going to put it back in. And the trick when you're putting it back in is there's this metal plate in the back. You have to align all these little spacer pins in there. They have little grooves in them. You got to line all those grooves to click into that. It's not too difficult. It's fairly easy actually this time. See? Actually, did I get them all? All in except for one. See what that. There we go. All zeros. It's a brand new truck. Now it's just putting this little pain in the butt clip in. There's your Speedo. And the numbers look pretty clean, so I was going to clean them, but even on this one, the white ones are just starting to come off, so I don't want to really I tried to get my hands off as much as possible, so I'll just get a Q-tip and clean it a bit and get all the old grease out and that, and then I'll clean this the dial indicator. I might redo the orange paint on it, and then paint the inside circles silver. So I don't want to pull that one off. That one's in better shape, but it's still, the orange is faded. But I think if I can just paint that silver with a brush and the orange needle with a brush, that'll look perfect. So that part's done. Now it's just cleaning all the paint off that. Or I don't have to get everything clean, but smooth it all out and repaint it. Either just pure white or get a little off white. But I'll do that another day. So we'll get back to you in a day or so. So I'm back working on the 52 Ford half-ton gauges. There's the Speedo and the odometer. It's been a few days, so I put the Speedo back to 0. I ended up, this was a little scuffed up, so I painted that with silver and orange. Just used just regular modeling paint. the outside here was in very good shape, just a little bit of dirt and grime, so I just took soap and water and just wiped it gently, and it came out good. That's all good. Then I painted the housing, and I also changed out the green and the red lenses. You just these are just caps on the pressed caps. You just take pliers and pull them off. That's one of the old ones. You can see it's almost yellow in places. And here's the red one. You can see it's nicely curved and it's been overheated. So what I did is I went on Amazon and bought some plastic, different colors of plastic, transparent plastic, and cut out circles, and looks pretty good. That'll be for your turn signals. I'm not sure what the red one is. It might be for the hazard. I'm not sure, but I'll probably make it a hazard. That's the glass retainer. Painted it. It just needs to be cleaned up by hand, but that's just been painted silver, and then on the inside white, the same as that. And that's the stainless steel outer ring. It was fairly rusted. We sanded it a little bit and polished it to get most of the stuff off, but you only see this edge outside, so we weren't too concerned with anything below that. And then the original gasket that held the glass in was just cork, and it's dried and cracked and missing. So what I did is I just took regular household sponge, like for your door, weather stripping for your door or window, and cut it down to size. It's sticky on one side, so I'm leaving this plastic on there just so it doesn't stick. It can move around. So that goes into here. And if I can do this with one hand, I'll try. If not, I will put the camera down. But all right, it sticks up, and I got the glass. Just cleaned it with a regular glass cleaner. It was fine, and that cushions that. And before I do that, these are the parts that right here that get crimped. Once you put it on here, it get crimped onto there. So that goes like so. There, so that's ready to go in. So the next thing is I'll put that in the housing. So I'll put you down and get you out of the glare. This is fairly easy. You just have to basically make sure you got the turn signals lined up, and it only goes one of two ways. Or actually, it only goes one way. It's keyed on the back, so don't worry. And then there's two screws in the back. I'm just going to snug those up. And I didn't paint this back. It was never painted from the factory. It's just galvanized. But that was painted white or cream. So it looked like cream when I got it. Here's that's from the spare one. But it's sort of a cream, but it could have been white. I just had white, so I painted it like that. So then you can see the green turn signals. I believe that's for a flasher. I'm not sure, but that's probably what I'll use it for. So then, to put it together, gonna make sure the glass doesn't fall out. Gotta make sure that it gets all underneath there. Okay, I'll see if I can do this with pliers. I might have to do it with hit it with a screwdriver. Actually, yeah. Take my screwdriver. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more force than that, but right now, because it's stainless steel, it's pretty strong. I'm just pushing it in a little bit just to hold it, so then let's use this as a see if I can. No, I can't grip it. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to scuff that, so I'm going to get a piece of cardboard, put it down there, and I'll probably have to take the screwdriver and a little hammer and bend those over. So I'm going to get that stuff ready and do that right now. Okay, so I got a piece of cardboard and my very cheap hammer that I got for, I think, a gift a few years ago. It's basically garbage, but good for this. So I'm going to just, and the camera might bounce, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe more difficult than I thought. It was basically crimped 3 places on each side. So I'm just recreating that. Yeah, it'll need to be a little bit tighter because you can still move it a little bit, but it's not coming off yet. There we go. I tightened it up. Yeah. Still can move it, so I just crimped it again, second time there. There's one there. That's factory. That's factory. I just added an extra one. But as you can see, that looks pretty good. And I've also got 12-volt bulbs. I've got all the sockets. They're a little bit bigger, but I've tested them and they're the right pin configuration. So, and this one has 5 lights in the back. So yeah, that's pretty much done. Reconditioned 1952 Ford. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. There we go. Reconditioned 52 Ford Speedo and odometer. And it looks pretty good. It'll look good on the truck and should work good. Now I just gotta do the rest. So thanks for watching. And we'll see you on the next video.